kind of a one-man show version of it, and it actually becomes a comedy. For a show that's so dark, it is quite a funny thing to watch one guy try to pull it all off, but it's a good time.
When you were working on Broadway as a kid, did your brothers want to do Broadway also?
My brother Joe did do Broadway, actually. A lot of people don't know this, but he did Oliver in New Jersey at a regional theater and fell in love with theater after, basically he'd seen how much fun I was having. And at the time I was in Beauty and the Beast, and then he got cast in Baz Luhrmann's production of La Boheme. And so he did that here in the city for I think it was 6 months or 7 months, however long it ran. And loved it. Performed on the Tonys. That's one thing he's done that I've never done. He performed on the Tonys.
Really?
So I got to do it one day.
This year?
No.
Yeah, maybe this year will be on the Tonys, right?
Maybe they'll have me present or something. I think How to Succeed had an incredible performance last year, for the Tonys. So I'll let them, have their glory in that moment. Maybe I can present. That'd be an honor.
You and your brothers have millions of fans. How do you view fame and what it's given you?
I always sort of, I think it has a lot to do with the fact that I had my two brothers with me on the ride, which was really helpful for us to keep sort of our heads in the right place, and our family's great, and the people we surround ourselves with. But I love this quote Ray Charles says, like, I never wanted to be famous, I just wanted to be great. And I think that's the key, is just, fame comes along with this thing that we're fortunate to get to do, which is to perform for people that want to hear us perform. But by no means is that what we're after. And it's just about creating great art and great work for people and for ourselves. Part of the great luxury that we've had is we've been able to write music and have that be our creative outlet. And that means a lot to us, because we realize we're fortunate to have a voice that people want to hear. And so it's been an amazing run.
As you grow up, you've made all the right choices. Who or what guides you, Nick?
I wouldn't say I've made all the right choices. I've said I do my best, and that's all you can ask for. But I think that the thing that guides me is just a real passion for what I do, and like I said a minute ago, an understanding that there are so many talented people who don't ever get to have the opportunities that I've had, and I take that with great responsibility and just try to do the best I can, knowing that that's a lot of responsibility.
Yeah. Hairspray at the Hollywood Bowl.
Yeah.
What was that whole experience like, and the best moments of that?
It was like, what's the best way to describe it? Like summer stock or something. It's kind of like...
But with the best.
With the best ever.
Yeah.
We had 2 weeks to get the show up and running, which, it was my first introduction now as an adult into the dancing thing again. I hadn't really done it in a while, and first couple days I really struggled, and then all of a sudden it just clicked and made sense again, where it comes into your body and you go, oh, this is working, I understand how this happens. And Jerry Mitchell was really gracious, and his team were really gracious, giving me a little extra attention, but then I finally just clicked it in and felt really good about it all. And obviously that cast, Harvey and Marissa and John Stamos and Corbin, they were all amazing. We had a really fun time, and we feel like, the shows that we had for only having a few weeks to rehearse, we were really happy with what happened and the response from the crowd.
Your music career, now that you're on Broadway, I know it's so important to you, where does it fit into the scheme?
Well, the great thing about the Broadway schedule is that, we have the days for the most part.
Yeah.
Apart from some of the promotional stuff I've had to do starting up in the show, I do sort of have the days to be able to go into my home. I've got like a little home studio set up that I can go and create in, and I think my brothers and I will start writing very soon for another record for our fans. It's been a while. It's been about 3 years since we released a record, and been on kind of a 2-year hiatus from touring and all that. But I think we've taken our time, and we'll start creating again.
I want to talk about your brothers. You all play these huge arenas that hold thousands and thousands of fans. So not just as a performer, but as a human being, how does that feel?
It's in the moment surreal? It sort of doesn't feel. I don't know. It's hard to explain because we look at our journey and say we're so glad that we had the small venues. 10 people would show up to a show, and we were rejoicing, and then it grew over time, and unlike a lot of sort of success stories these days where people have more mass exposure from a television program or something like that that gives them that sort of mass appeal, and then they can go into the arenas right away. We had a slow grow, and it really was character building for us, and you know, it was made each success sort of moment matter even that much more. And you know, as time progresses, I think we've learned to look at each sort of season of our career as a great thing.
Yeah.
And knowing that we can go places in the U.S. and play for crowds of, you know, thousands of people is a crazy mentality. And when you're on the stage, I don't know that you're consciously thinking about how many people are in the room, but more just about being so grateful to be able to play music for people that want to hear it.
And how cool is it that a lot of the fans that are coming to see How to Succeed are going to see a Broadway show for the very first time because it's you, and that will change them. Do you remember the first show you saw?
First show I saw was The Sound of Music with Marie Osmond,
Yeah.
Which was incredible. I fell in love with the theater after that. But it is great to think about, you know, this being a lot of people's first theater experience. You know, and I feel that it's a great show to have your first theater experience with, because this production specifically is so vibrant in so many ways, from the music still being so current, and the book being so relevant, and then the colors of the show, the choreography, everything about it is so appealing to so many different people in different walks of life. I think that this is a blessing that this is the show that I'm doing, because it does work for someone if it's their first experience.
And the biggest thrill of just being back on Broadway in a starring role means what to you?
I think that moment when the elevator door opens in the show here and I come out from my bow at the end of the night, that's a sort of a crazy feeling that I'm still not getting used to every night. You know, I've never been the last one to bow in a show that I've ever been in, and sort of in a way feel a bit uncomfortable about it. So I bow very quickly and then call everyone else on. But it's, you know, it's very surreal, and I don't take it for granted. I'm very thankful, and you know, hope that there's another theater opportunity down the road for me once this all finishes up as well.
Yeah. Would you like to do a play?
I would love to do a play. You know, I think the musical part of me goes, I love singing, and I love roles that I can sing in, and now dance as well. You know, I love the dancing, but I would always consider a play. It would be fun.
It would be cool to have you back here on Broadway.